Hello, hello, hello. Hi, family. How are you? This is your Aunties Can Never, and we are back with another review of Netflix Love is Blind, and we're doing episode 10 today. Welcome, welcome. I'm Auntie Sade, and I'm here with
Auntie Nana.
Auntie AK.
And auntie technical difficulties.
no.
Auntie Farah.
Cool. And just a reminder, guys, we are not therapists. We're not psychiatrists. We're not relationship specialists or anything like that. What we are just four very opinionated aunties, and we just are dedicating our time to dissect, uncover, pick apart every episode scene by scene to find out, is love truly blind or is it not? But before we get into this episode, please, guys, we are trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of April. We're on our way. I've seen that we've gone up. We've gone up. I swear we've gone up about 100 or so. Do you know what I mean? So please continue to tell your friends, subscribe yourself if you're not subscribed. Share this with like-minded people, like this video, and of course, comment, get involved in the conversation. We love reading your comments. Okay, so guys, you know what we're starting off with? What is the one word that you have to sum up this very spicy, I think mine's spicy episode?
Mine is love.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
the fainting for me from Auntie Nana, like, oh love.
Because mine's the opposite. I had love less.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
The word I want to use, I can't. So I'm going to say cold.
Cold. Okay.
Mm.
Interesting. Okay, well, guys, and also as well, put your one word sum up in the comments as well, kind of thing. We can read a couple of those out as well. Yeah, so picking up from episode 9, episode 10 starts with Josh and Jackie. They're already midway in conversation. Basically, he's getting into we already know that Jackie is not at the fit-in. She's with she's doing her fit-in, and Marshall is. Josh and Jackie have met up, and yeah, this is beginning. That's how it begins. He is telling her that, how he felt, and that he should have, maybe spoken to her and told, express his feelings. She just, says that she wasn't attracted to, what's his name? Marshall. She's instantly attracted to Josh, that her nipples are hard. She actually says this to him, that her nipples are hard. And you can see their nervousness and their flirtiness, and you can see the attraction between them. Also, you can see his ear close up, which is really disgusting.
Told you. I spotted that from the pods.
Oh my God, that threw me off. And Jackie was talking about, she was trying to relate to Josh in a sense, because she was saying, I'm that type of person too. I always say my actions speak louder than words. Like, I'm not good with my emotions. So it was like they were bonding, He even said, I love you. I want us to be together. And she was saying things like Marshall was too sensitive for her. She wanted him to boss up and be more aggressive. And he left, because she said this, he left for 3 days. And then he asked her, what do you think Marshall will think about this? And she says, I don't care. She said, I don't care. Guys, at this point, what are your thoughts and feelings? What did you think about Miss Jackie and Mr. Josh in this moment?
I mean, last time I spoke about Josh, I was incensed by him. This time, him calmed down and not doing the Harlem Shake every 5 seconds and over dramatizing everything. I was like, okay, this is the human side of Josh, that if this is him maybe on a calm, lower level, he might be tolerable. Because they showed us nothing of him previously, I have nothing to go on whether he's genuine or not. But if Jackie likes him, then at this point, I'm just like, okay, girl, do you, because you definitely don't like Marshall. If Josh is the guy for you, and you can see through all his antics, then maybe. I just have at it and just let's just crack on and move on, please.
I was disgusted by this. Actually, I wasn't best pleased with her. Like, Jackie was one of my faves. She absolutely has been one of my faves up until her antics with Marshall. But when they were on holiday in Mexico, I really liked her. I was disgusted by them. I thought there was no thought for how Marshall was going to take this. Josh kind of coming in there straight away with the flowers, apologizing, saying he loves her. I was just like, this is gross. Like, there is a man that has proposed to you who is at a fitting for how they presented it to us, who's at a fitting for his wedding outfit, and you're here in a cafe speaking sweet nothings with this dude and his cauliflower ear. It wasn't on. Like, no, it's not okay. She's out of order.
Yeah, that's for me. That was a cold ass move. Like, she took liberties. Because my thing is this year, Marshall's been asking her from day dot, how do you feel? What do you need from me? How do you feel? And whilst Marshall's annoying, yeah, she could have just said to him before she went and kiki in the cafe with Josh. She could have just said to Marshall, you know what? I'm not feeling you. Let's done the do. Now, despite what she's trying to come out and say now, because I know everyone's seen that, but how it's been presented and how I think it has actually gone, she's gone to meet up with Josh before she's completely ended things with Marshall.
Yeah,
she let the man go for a fitting. You knew when you woke up in the morning you weren't going for your dress fitting. Whether you discussed that with the producers or not, you knew you weren't going for the fitting. You could have given Marshall the heads up and said, you know what, bro, later to you, innit? Like, I'm not attracted to you. I saw Josh the other day. I want to see what I want. But she didn't. She went and she met with Josh. She was like overly flirtatious with him. And you know what? It's not even a thing of whether or not she should be with Josh, because if that's who you're feeling, you've gone on the show to find love, right? So that's fine. It's the way that you've gone about it. It was a cold-hearted move, and it was like just so awful of her to do that to somebody. She didn't give a damn about somebody else's feelings, and I just don't think that was right. You can love whoever you want to love, but just remember there are other people involved, and you should actually have a little bit of common courtesy to someone who you actually you accepted their proposal. You accepted the man's proposal, and then you went and you're doing dating before you break it off. Nah, that's long. That's cold. It's cold.
I mean, I don't think she's necessarily like super cold, really. I think she's
wow.
I do. You know, like, I like to understand the people who come across misunderstood. And she, to me, just seems as like, you know, she even said it herself. She chose wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, she really chose wrong. So she really tried to give it a go because she thought that's what she wanted, and that's what she's almost like expected to want. But that's not really who, you know, through it, she's decided now that's not who she really wants to be with. And I think like it's I think I often think this, but it's just like, yeah, I just don't think she's that kind of person. I don't think she's like, I think she's someone that will lash out. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing. So him, I still think that him calling her a project was, I think that was a catalyst for revenge and torture. That's my opinion, though. But yeah, I just don't think. I think she thought, yeah, I'm going to catch you back for this. Do you know what I mean? And he tried the wrong one. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everyone is built for this. Like, honestly, do you know what I mean? Like, you want to move with a baddie, but can you handle a baddie? Really? No. So Marshall, I thought, I wonder what Marshall's thinking about. We'll get on to Marshall anyway, but like, do you know what I mean? But like, is he also learning his lesson? I don't know. I don't think so. Go on, sorry, what are you going to say?
I'm just with you because I don't think in the magnitude that she was that, but I think that the writing was on the wall for both of them. So for anyone to be acting shocked that it hasn't gone straight forward, for anyone to be like, oh, she should have done better. They were both wrong for each other. They both picked wrongly, and it's not surprising the fallout. it doesn't. But again, I'm in the cynical space when it comes to these shows and how they chop it up for us to see. So I'm a little bit like, how did it really go? And when were they really aware that this is nonsense? However,
all right. So even if we take the editing and the sequence of events, when they came home from Chelsea's shit party, and Marshall was asking her questions, she should have said then, instead of being like, all you got to do is love me, just love me, she should have said,
right.
I saw Josh, I was actually attracted to him, and I've got a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah.
But you know what? Even if she didn't feel like she could have said it then, and I dispute her theory about the editing, because we'll get onto it later, but I just feel like before she went and had her date, she could have made it clear to Marshall, because Marshall even said that night when she was like, love me, just love me. You're going to leave in the morning and we're not going to have an opportunity to talk about this, right? I just feel like I do not dispute that they were wrong for each other. I do not dispute that maybe she needs to seek love somewhere else. I don't dispute none of that. It's just how she dealt with him. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, we'd be saying something different. And I just feel she dealt with him proper cold. There was no reason for her to be that cold. And even if she wanted to get back at him because he said to her she's a project, that's a dread move. She let man go try on shirts and pick colours. Like, that's deep.
That also as well, where is his responsibility in that? Because did you check in with her beforehand to say, are you definitely going? Do you know what I mean? Because if you're on rocky ground and you haven't spoken, do you know what I mean? Like, you're just going off to pretend or to say,
because the girl, the last thing she said to him, if we're to believe the editing, is just love me. So she's telling man, just love me. Why is he going to assume that she's not going to go to her fitting? If we're taking it on face value, yeah, and he already said to her, we're not going to have time to talk about this. Why is he going to dispute it? But he's going to go in it.
That's not logical to me at all. Like, I think that the editing definitely plays a big part in this, in terms of
that part, yeah.
We're being told this narrative. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't actually make anyone look good. But you know, to not check in with the girl, to even say, morning, I'm on my way, like, hope you have a good day. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was no conversation, nothing.
She probably ignored him. She probably ignored him if he sent those text messages. If Marshall sent her their messages, she probably would have looked at it and not even read it.
Just one more point. It's just that I really think that what we're going to uncover is this nice guy. This is the problem with these so-called nice guys. Do you know what I mean? That they're not necessarily nice just because they come across like, you know, and swinging their legs off the countertop like they're innocent. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, like, doesn't mean that you can't be an arsehole. Doesn't mean that you're not taking the piss. Doesn't mean that, you know, do you know what I mean? Just because it's edited you in your favor, and from someone, you know, even I've been on a dating show. They edited it in my favor, 100%. It could have gone the other way. So, like, I'm really, I
agree with you. I agree with you that he could definitely be an arsehole, because we saw him present arsehole tendencies. But that doesn't dispute that she was cold in her tactics. And even following on for that, it doesn't dispute how cold-hearted she dealt with that poor boy.
No, he's not a poor boy. This is what I'm saying.
In this situation, with how she dealt with him, he is a poor boy. Nothing else. Because she ain't a project, and that's when he said project to her, I'm in agreement with you. That's when she was like, is it project this, like you said last time, project manage this, like, definitely. I think so. But it's dread how she dealt with him. It's cold.
Okay, what was she gonna say?
I think I'm on your side on this particular thing. I think, she was cold, whatever, but I do think previous history between them, there's a bit of naivete that he was really confident that she was going to be at the fitting without checking in. I just think that at this point, they both deep down, even though she said, love me, she said, love me. She's cried on his shoulder. She's hugged him. She's told him she actually hasn't told him that he loved him all this time. It's just, there's not enough facts on the table for him to be so deeply committed to her. And as much as I've been Team Marshall this whole time, if he was a girl, it was a guy, I'm like, guy, seriously, you need to really check this situation that you're in, because this person does not love you and is not going to be there for you on the day. So even that, let's just cut it quickly. All I say to her is just cut it quickly. I don't think it's like, I just think the writing's been on the wall, and he's just got blinkers on.
Do you not think he tried though? Even at midnight.
There's the wrong like honest. Anyway, we'll jump into Marshall because we then see him, and he has to go and do a bit of a walk of shame to his friends and just say like, look, she's not coming. I've just found out through someone else, and his friends immediately call her trash. And then he's still outside saying, I do love her. Like, if she wants to talk, I'm cool. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, can I just say that?
Yeah.
If she wants to talk, I'm done talking. But yeah,
I'm done. Yeah. Sorry.
No, it was, I'm done talking. If she wants to talk, we'll talk. Yeah. That makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
No sense whatsoever.
It just goes to show you, like, Marshall, what do you want? What do you actually want? Do you know what I mean? Apart from staying in the show, what do you actually want? Because there is that too. So then we see Vanessa and Nick, they turn up for the wedding fit-ins, which was really nice, I think. Micah
0.
It was easily missed.
I know they need new hosts for this show.
Like, why were they even there? And what was she wearing? I'm sorry, like, she looked like she was going boating or something. I don't know where she was going, but it was like on her way to the shop. She remembered that she needed to turn up, and she just turned up and said a couple words and then bust out. Nick's was a little bit better than hers. Hers didn't make sense. I thought she would have sat down and saw them in their dresses. It was like, oh,
are you not
right?
This session is this not you guys' time to host this session?
Yeah. Do you know what was funny? As you just said, Vanessa and Nick, Sade, I was like, who? And then I was like, oh. I was like, what couple are they? I literally was like, what couple are they?
Exactly. We see Micah, with her mum and stuff. So Vanessa talks to like Micah's mum a little bit, which was, kind of like a interesting conversation. The mum seems happy now, but previously she wasn't happy, and she definitely wasn't happy after even meeting Paul. It seems like Micah has convinced her that this is her, the decision she wants to make. And, so the mum's like, it's weird, but she's excited. We jump to Kwame, who has, he has Jack. He brought Jack to the pod. Yeah, which was just Jack, who was one of the other contestants who actually dated Chelsea as well, which was just so odd. And it was just like, what the heck? Did you think that was odd?
Where's his friends? Who is he? Like, why?
He has a brother, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's got homies, hasn't he?
No.
I mean, he wants to stay in where is he from? Portland so badly. Where's all your Portland brethren?
So
where's all your Portland peeps?
So strange. And then we see Brett, and Brett is a man. He knows what he wants. When he was talking to the tailor, he was just like, I want it white here and then the detail here and this thingy. And he was just going on and on and on. Like they were having a really deep, design, kind of conversation. That's he was geeking out, absolutely geeking out. And then we go to the women and we see them start trying on their dresses. Tiffany's up first. She wants to match the detail in the dress to him because he'll have a lot of detail in what he's doing and stuff. Actually, before we get into that, I wanted to ask you guys a question. When you guys were growing up, did you think about your wedding dress? Did you think about what it would look like or anything like that? Did you have those types of thoughts? Was you that kind of child?
No.
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 Wow, that's one thing we all have in common. Me neither.
No.
Like,
I
not
actually
at all.
have a friend who had a full-on wedding dress book. She would see a wedding dress and she had cut it out and had a whole file. So
Monica from Friends.
That's what Monica has. I've never watched Friends.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
By the time she was getting married, it's like she had everything. Like she didn't need a year to plan her wedding because she had been
Wow.
doing it for years. Like she knew the style of dress. I didn't know. No, I just went to the shop and tried on shit. I had no clue.
I've thought about it in later years, but I definitely didn't. I wasn't a child that dreamt about my wedding dress. I didn't even dream about getting married. I actually didn't even dream or think I would. I just knew I'd have a child. I never thought about the husband.
Yeah, I think snap. I think I'm exactly the same as you. I've never been like, oh, I would. No, it's just not something. No,
it just wasn't in my genetic makeup. But I've definitely
snap.
Wow, definitely I've thought about if I was to get married, I'd know my style to the T.
You know what dress?
I don't even think I would know now.
Would you wear white or another color?
I flip between doing a traditional like throughout, but there's a aesthetic that I know that's so me when it comes to the white wedding dress. So I don't know. I might do a bit of here and there, this and that. Like a good design.
Yeah. I just thought it was interesting because obviously these girls, like some of them, they're keen to get married, right? Obviously when it's in the show, and some of them, this is probably their dream to kind of like go through this process and actually, choose their dress and it to live out what they thought of when they were a child. I thought that was quite interesting. But Tiff, yeah, she was more concerned about matching Brett, like, do you know what I mean? Well, that's how it came across anyway. And she had like a very kind of like Hollywood glam type dress. Her mum's mate, she was just like, yeah, she'd given up kind of thing.
No, it's on camera.
The mum made me laugh. When the mum said it, I was like, I wonder if her mum's Caribbean, because like the way that she said it, I was like, no.
How old is Stephanie? She's only 36, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, wowzers.
My mum would definitely say that on camera with no filter.
Yeah. My mum would say it straight to the camera.
It was a lot. But I thought it was interesting that you see like Chelsea's longing face. Like it was just like there was this cut of her, like just in all. It's just like, oh, Chelsea, sometimes just too intense, man.
Yeah, so intense.
I really did like Tiffany's dress though.
No, me neither.
You did.
Like one of my faves. I liked her dress.
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
No, I didn't. I was surprised by whose dress I actually liked, but it wasn't Tiffany's.
It's me and you are the same, I bet, Far.
Yeah, I bet.
I didn't like the same one.
I didn't like it. I thought it was just okay.
It was a bit, it was very just.
Yeah. But that was it. Paul, we see, who's, I don't even know. He was just talking to his friends, right? They were saying, love starts where logic ends and things like this. And he's like, doing his best to make her feel present, and he needs to get out of his head more and stuff and things like that. So it was just like maybe like a little bit of a throwaway scene. Then we jump to Micah. Her first dress. So she had two dresses. Her first dress was this sparkly number that was giving Cindy, not even Barbie.
Yeah,
right.
It was horrible.
She's
absolutely Cindy. Absolutely right description.
100% Cindy.
Seriously. And then we see Shelby as well, but she wasn't drunk this time. And she was doing a little bit to camera saying that she thinks that it's all going to be good as long as her mind doesn't change on a whim. And I was just like, again, what kind of friend are you?
Right.
Like, you're having full confessionals in front of, do you know what I mean? Like,
it's like she was trying to do that thing. Sorry. It was like she was trying to do that thing where, like your friend's trying to be nice, but then trying to be nasty, those types of friends. Like, so, I'm sure he's a really nice man and it'll be fine. But if she doesn't change her mind, just them little jabs, them slide jabs she was giving.
She couldn't help herself, but I did think that, to give her an equal tiny bit of grace or whatever, I thought if this girl knows, as we spoke about before, the Micah that we've seen, the bitch side, and she really is, that's the girl that I know, then maybe, just maybe, that is what she's stuck on. That this is the girl that I know. I'm not giving her, I'm not saying because I think she's a bitch. Already. But I just think that maybe she is really like, can't get out of her head that the girl that I know who's whimsical, not in the good way, the kind of flip-floppy, flighty, scatty, whatever the case is, that's what she's stuck on. She's being a bitch. She doesn't have to reveal it like
But
that.
have that to your brethren and have that off camera.
Yeah, that's all I'm
Why
saying.
do you have to tell them what are you trying to prove other than you're right? Like, what is it? Like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
exactly. And to make her character seem worse than it is.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
But
it's not about. She's trying to center herself in someone else's experience, and it's
Yeah.
not on.
It's just, I get it. That's all. I have no excuse. I can't stand what the girl that she presents. But I just thought this is obviously she's really stuck on the side of Micah that she thinks she knows, and as we've discussed before, she won't let Micah grow. If Micah has any strength to grow and evolve outside of this group and this world,
she could well be right.
That's
Micah could be all of the fuckeries things under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
If my friend is all of the fuckeries things under the sun, and I hang with her, why am I saying this to camera?
Right.
Exactly.
That's my point.
Down to
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. Out of order. And then so we see the mum is like overly happy though. Like they have like this really emotional moment where, you know, it kind of is revealed that it seems like the mum, you know, maybe had some sort of like illness or because she thought she wasn't going to make it. So that was a very humanizing moment, I think.
Yeah, that was nice.
For sure. Like that was the only one. But then they cut to Shelby. And again, I don't know if this is editing, but her face just looked no emotion, hella jealous. Like I was just like, why is everyone teary-eyed? But you,
except you.
like, you know what I mean? You can't pretend a little like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like
you know right, you know the mum.
I feel like she tried to be on the show. There's something
maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
The scenes that I should have been like there's just
it should have been me.
In her face that's like
this should have been me. She's
like they went to the audition together.
Yeah.
They picked Micah.
And she didn't get it. It's true.
There's too much in her face, man. Her facial expressions are so like that should be me and my mum. It was just so evil.
Yeah.
And it's just like if I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's wrong. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes I just think like, okay, why could there be another reason for this? But it just doesn't. Like, why would you not be super happy for your friend? I just don't understand. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Straight faced all the time.
But yeah, unless you're a secret hater, that's it.
Yep.
And you're just getting caught on camera. Yeah. She's so used to hating and not being caught, but she's forgetting there's a camera on her face.
Yeah. And then we see Micah's second dress that was much, much better in my opinion. It was very simple, clean lines. It had the drape at the back, detail under the bum. It just looked elegant. It was perfect for her shape. My only one criticism of her is something I also need to work on is she needs to fix her posture. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? Because she's really hunched, and for a dress like that, you really need to have your shoulders back to emphasize.
All of you like this dress, innit?
Yeah,
that was my favorite dress.
Oh my
that was my that was my favorite dress. I loved it. Absolutely amazing, classic. Like you said, the way you described it, perfect. I love that dress.
Best dress out of all of them.
Best dress. Absolutely best dress.
Basically a long nightie.
Okay, we're not
away to a wedding shop to pick that you could get from Shein. Oh my god! I was like, no way. That was.
Oh my god! You could get from Shein.
You can also get half of them dresses from Shein anyway.
You could get Tiff's dress from flipping. What's the other one? Not Shein. Say it again. Boohoo. That's what I meant to say. Boohoo or Pretty Little Thing. It'll cost you £15.
They suited her.
Micah,
it did.
That's why it was dry. I'm like, this is dry. This is a dry dress.
No, it was nice.
I liked it. I didn't like how much time they were focusing on her though. That was slightly annoying. It was too much of a segment on Micah. Like they're trying to make us love her. Yeah, I didn't really like that.
Because she's got a long journey before that, but she'd actually look good in that dress.
Yeah.
She did. But they could have cut out the whole first dress.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, no, but I think the comparison as well made me like it even more. Do you know what I mean? Because it was just like, there ain't no way, because this is horrible. Maybe they kept it in for the story and the friend's reaction, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we see Kwame and his hired friend Jack. Still still complaining. He basically doesn't want to, he doesn't want to move at all. He's not interested in moving. He kind of like, the friend, I lost my place. The friend basically just says to him, what's more important, lifestyle or personality? Because that's essentially what it comes down to. And, I think he just does one of his like laughs. He just not answers the question. And I just thought at that moment, it's just like Paul and Micah literally have the same issue, right? About where to live, because Micah is in Arizona. And you can see how differently it's being handled. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was a very difficult conversation in the beginning, albeit like Paul didn't want to, but he was saying it in like more of like, I think like a friendly way. But I think he genuinely likes her and they genuinely want to be together. That's why it's been handled in a way that seems more sensitive and more kind of like understanding. Whereas Kwame's just not telling Chelsea the real truth, right? He's just throwing up theories and questions and, do you know what I mean? And laughs and not really answering anything.
Kwame's doing his version of Jacqueline.
Definitely. He's like, he talks to a wall, he'll talk to a plant, he'll talk to a table about why he's not happy. Everybody about Chelsea.
But Chelsea doesn't make it easy for him.
She doesn't. No, she
doesn't.
She literally jumps in and is like, shh.
Yeah, she finds a result.
I love you, you're so talented. Like,
you're so great. You're the best thing ever. I can't believe I'm with you. Look at you. You're amazing.
Yeah,
he can't actually say what he's feeling. Like, he'll get shut down.
He can't. I'm telling you, Kwame is Jacqueline.
Well, I saw a TikTok, that was saying that actually that Chelsea acts like a white man in a hetero relationship, and if you look at it through those dynamics, it's just like, shit, like, do you know what I mean? Because if she just basically invalidates every single one of his points and just goes to like, but you look so good, and we're and it's all about, do you know what I mean? How you make me feel, and like, kind of stuff, and not really
absolutely
as a him as a person, just more of a thing or object, or like
like I could get everything I want from this man. I'm gonna focus on that rather than him and what he's going through.
Well, we spoke about the fetishization that she's kind of bringing to the table around him. So it's like it seems a bit conquesty, like it's no matter what, we're going to win. And it is, and she's like Marshall in that respect, where this is what my team wants, this is what's going to happen. And by hook or by crook, I'm not going to see the red flags at all. I'm just going to see it to the right, to the very, very end. And then the blow up.
Yes. Kwame will be mine.
He will be. This man will be mine, no matter what.
No matter what. So Chelsea, we see her dress. I don't like the way they had her friend up in the back as well. Like, you look great, Chelsea.
A little cheerleader.
They should have moved it around or something.
Yeah.
Her dress had like beads, sparkle, lace, just everything, like a massive train. Like, it was just everything all at once, and everyone was just crying. I was just like, why? Like, this is awful.
What are they seeing? Yeah, what are they seeing that I can't see? It didn't seem to fit her properly around the chest part either. Yes.
And it
didn't fit her.
They tried with all of the crocodile clips and they really tried to get that to fit her. But no.
Why did they feel like
probably one of the worst?
Yeah, man. Baggy on her top, and she's so mager.
Yeah. She is tiny, literally tiny.
But she's very small as well. She's like minute. Yes.
Both sides.
She's very small.
It's a lot, man.
It kind of looks natural though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. She's very short, isn't she? So she's petite.
Mm-hmm.
But
more of a princess dress.
Because
she needs it.
Yeah.
She's a really lovely silhouette. And it would have looked really nice, but she doesn't have
absolutely
to carry that dress off. So then just the dress is wearing you literally look like a hanger because you don't have the body to get. So then you can create a dress that gives her body. like put her in a more of a poofier dress, and it would look brilliant on her because she's so small.
Yeah.
I was watching it, like, maybe they shouldn't be wearing what they want to wear and let's style them.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that. I can't lie. Definitely. I agree with you, Nana. She needed a slim top and a big body. That's what she needed.
I thought that might overpower her though as well, because she is so small. Because sometimes it does the opposite. It's like too much material and they just get lost.
But it could just be like, you know, like those old school dresses, like could be a hip there and it
more like a bell kind of.
Yeah. No, it doesn't be a full on like Cinderella to the ball, like massive. Because she's also
just have that.
But just giving her a bit of a body, because she can carry that, because her
you know, like that 1950s kind of shape, like almost like a skater shape. Those skater dresses where it's thin and it comes out like that, like 1950s. Those sort of things.
Yeah,
I know
what you're talking about.
Yeah, like that would have looked good on her.
Yeah, that would give her more shape. It's true.
I do believe, anyway. Well, she does believe she's got shape. She really does.
Yeah, she does.
She does.
She actually does.
We'll get on to that, but she definitely believes she's got all of shape.
Zach next. He basically tells the tailor, these are my colors that my fiance has told me: periwinkle, ivory, and lavender. And I thought these are the traits of controlling bliss. Do you know what I mean? I think she's just very controlling and used to just get in her way. His sister was there with him, which I thought was really cute. And, you know, she was asking the questions, you know, that I think we want to know. Like, do you think you really know her? Do you think your lives will work together? And all that kind of stuff. And, you know, he was answering in the affirmative and stuff, but I just didn't quite believe him. It was like too quick with the yeses, no kind of real elaboration and that sort of thing. And then we see Bliss's dress. It was, for me, like, literally, like, I was just like, are the 80s back? What is this tan color? What are the poofy arms? When Chelsea was saying, I love the sleeves, it's a no. Do you know what I mean? Like,
he was lying. Like, literally, like, you want, she needs to look shit. Like, that was a lie. Nobody liked those sleeves ever.
It was like I love the sleeve coincided with the sleeves not working, and Bliss tried to keep the sleeves up. It was like simultaneous. And you're right, that brown bit, I was just like, I do not like that on dresses ever. Ever. I hate that.
It's horrible.
Just it was a no for me.
Again, she needed to be styled. She can't style herself. Let's just get her. She has a beautiful figure. That whole bust part, I was like, that's terrible. You're big busted, and this isn't for you. This everything on this is not for your shape. It was dramatically appalling, and I hope she changes her mind. I
love that statement. Dramatically appalling.
It was bad.
But it was bad. So who's had the worst dress then? Are we done with all?
Yeah, that's the dresses. My last comment is the mum. For me, the mum was saying nice words, but the dress was so loud I couldn't hear what she was distracting. It was horrid. It was horrid.
Oh, it was very 80s. You're absolutely right. It was just, I just didn't like it. I'd rather wear Chelsea's dress. If I was forced, I'd rather wear Chelsea's dress.
Yeah.
I think hers is the worst. I think it's her. I think Bliss's dress is the worst.
Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah,
definitely. It's awful.
And I didn't expect it. I actually thought she was going to go for, you know, that standard dry wedding dress that's like a real empire line.
Yeah.
It's an A line. I thought she was going to do that because that's very nerdy. I literally was expecting that.
Covered as well.
Yeah.
Covered. That's what I thought. Like an elegant, you know, one of them. Yes, that's exactly it. Yes, exactly it. That's precisely where my head went. Like a little bit of Kate. Yes. Covered like Kate.
Yeah, so I was very surprised at what she pulled out. I was literally like, who even made this? Why is this dress even available?
Yeah. But when you go wedding, you know, sometimes there's some dresses like, who is thinking of these designs.
Oh,
But there's
why
a
is
dress
it
for
available?
everybody because people just love, you know, some of the
And
people have
she's-
a real cartoon princess puffy dress in their mind, and that's
Yeah.
what's stuck, and they don't
But
move.
that's not
from
what.
image.
Sorry, but that's not what they wore in the cartoons, is it? That's
No, but
like,
in your
did
brain,
your
it's
mum
like,
wear that
oh,
dress? Does
you
your mum have a similar one? Like, do you know? No disrespect to the mother, but like, come on, like, what is that? It's horrible. It's horrible.
It was a lot.
I didn't like it.
Struggling with the sleeves, and you're not even at the wedding yet.
Terrible.
You
That's
might
a
as well
sign.
just have a curly perm, like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
pink and green, or what zigzags? I just don't know. Like, it was just horrible. It's like Saved by the Bell. That's what that reminded me of. Seriously, just no. May. But anyway, so we go to, oh yes, Jackie and Marshall back in the apartment. So that was everybody else. So had Jackie been at the fit-in, then we would have seen her outfit too. But no,
Yeah.
he wasn't.
Maybe that's why we saw 2 dresses as well from What's Her
That's
Face.
very true.
A filler. They probably had to fill it in.
Very, very true. You know, she starts with, "Hey, how are you?" And Marshall just wants answers. Like, seriously, just wants answers. You know, he's asking, "Why did you accept my proposal?" And, you know, she starts explaining that, you know, she's emotionally drained. She feels like the real world, you know, got to them. And she had a fed up moment. The moment where she was like, "No, this is it. It's not happening anymore," was when he started pressuring her for answers that, you know, that fateful midnight when she wanted to go to bed and he wanted to keep talking. And then he's like, "You know, I never asked anything from you." And he's been nothing but nice. And she's like, "You require a lot." And he did not like that. He did not like that at all, did he? He was just like, "No, he's, you know, he doesn't require anything. Everything is always on her terms." And she says, you know, she tried to have real feelings for him, but she just didn't. What did you, at this point, if we break it down, like, what at this point, what did you think? Do you think she was being reasonable in what she was saying? Did you think like Marshall was asking the right questions? Should he have been asking questions? Or do you know what I mean?
I think that her comments in terms of how she felt and how she feels are valid. Mm-hmm. You know, she did try with him because that's the type of man that she should be with, in inverted commas. So she did try with him.
Yeah.
Her handling of the situation in that scenario, I felt that it wasn't very kind, but she was being honest. I think her saying that was my fed up moment. If that was your fed up moment, you should have relayed that at the time because you were fed up. So you knew then because you were that was the moment that you were like, no, I'm fed up now. Then you knew then. So you could have told him then, or you could have told him the next day in the morning. You could have told him before you proceeded with the rest of the conversation. It's totally valid to feel how you feel. Because, you know, the real world, meaning she saw him, she wasn't attracted to him. She tried to be attracted to him and it didn't happen. That is all valid. If you don't like someone, you have the ick for them, then fair dues, isn't it? But again, I just feel it was kind of like, I would have expected her to be a bit nicer in her delivery.
Okay.
Yeah. I think so. I think the way she was, you know, when you get to that point where you are really fed up, like you just actually don't care anymore. And I felt like, no, that was, she did him a bit dirty in those moments. Like he's held you, you've cried on his shoulder and he's literally been there and he has cooked you food and really been there and said, "I love you" numerous times and accepted you saying, "I fucks with you hard." I think, come on, like, he's not wrong. He, to his detriment, he put her feelings first. He was waiting for her to see him. And that was foolhardy. That was just stupid. You never should have done that. But she could have just been a little bit more graceful in the letdown of, you know what? I really did give this experiment a try. And it just didn't happen for me. My feelings never caught up to yours. She just could have been nicer, a bit more grace. She was just harsh. Like, you need to pack your bags and dust. Without saying that was how she was being.
I was going to say.
Basically.
She didn't say that. But but yeah, she did say, you know, I can't love you because she's attracted to Josh. She reveals that she saw Josh at that point and they had chemistry. And, you know, this is when Marshall, you know, he kind of he gets more into his feelings a little bit, you know, he's just like, what are you saying? Do you want to be with Josh? And she was like, I don't know, I need to figure that out. He, in that moment, is just like, you know, that's very hurtful. And she's like, I can't be with you. And he's just like, okay, I would like the ring back, as I don't think you deserve it. And you should never accept my proposal. And then she says, well, I'm going to keep the ring. And at that moment, I lost control. I was crying. I was absolutely crying because that was a bad moment. Like I couldn't believe that she had the gall, it was just so calmly delivered with absolute like, well, no. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it was absolutely perfect in terms of villains that no, you can't actually have this ring back. And then his next line was, okay, I don't care about the ring, but every time you look at it, you're going to know that this is what you've missed out on.
I can't stand, you know what I actually hate? I just don't like that line. When someone's chosen not to have you, saying that every time you're going to think of, they're not, because they've chosen not to have you. So they're not going to be reminded of you because they made the decision not to be with you. So this kind of, well, you're going to regret it. It's just not worth the talk. I was a bit like, huh? That was a real record scratch moment for me. Because like, first of all, who paid for the ring? Because is that so?
Netflix do.
So then what is this conversation? It was a weird to have. Because why are you asking for it? That, I don't know why it came up. So I was very like, why does this even come up? It felt a little bit staged for me, but I don't understand. I just didn't get it. Because why? And
but what my thing is, if Marshall's such a good guy, why is it even on your mind? Do you know what I mean? Because you wanted to take the moment to do a swipe, right? Yeah. And then she was just like, no.
I'm keeping it.
No, it's not going to happen. I'm not saying because it was cold. And I think they were doing a battle of who could be the coldest, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it wasn't like she weren't shouting, she weren't do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. She was calm and delivered. And she's like, you're gonna get this today, you know? But I don't think he was ready for that level of coldness from
her bitch mode was like, you know, like when you've been with a guy for a long time, yeah, and the guy, the very sound of him, the very sight of him, the smell, everything does your nut. I've been in those relationships. She got to that point real quick with Marshall because she didn't need to shout. How she handled it was just like, nah, she cut him off.
Yeah.
She cut him off. Like, even if she might have thought about, before he said that, she might have given him back his ring. But because he asked for it, she's like, nah, I'm keeping it. And his comeback was because he had to say something. And, you know, really what you're saying makes no sense because she just told you she likes someone else. She ain't going to care. But, you know, in terms of him asking for the ring, I think it's because he also was like, okay, well, then I don't think you should have this either. Like, regardless of who paid for it, I think it was kind of like, well, I chose that for you. It's a symbol of what we went through. I want it back then. It was very much tit for tat in that scenario. But again, her delivery is just cold. Like, I get her not wanting to be with him because if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But it was just like, raw Jackie, like my mouth was open. So even how she was talking about, well, I saw Josh. I just, and this is the point I want to make. I just saw Josh. I just saw Josh. Yeah. And I was attracted to him. And, you know, all of this stuff, like, be a bit nicer, innit? Like, this is the man that you said yes to. You agreed to marry this man. It's not just like some guy that you went on a couple dates with. You agreed to marry this man. Deliver it a little bit better.
I think that
like 6 weeks. I don't know.
But she still agreed to marry the man.
I know, but is she beholden to that forever? Like, do you know?
No, but like, to treat someone nicer though.
Like, I just think, like, realistic. I don't know, realistically.
I'm like, it's in the end. She, like, as you said, she got to that point where And also because she also got to the point where this guy will not let go of me. I'm shaking him.
Yes.
The dog shaking off a tick.
Yeah.
I'm shaking him. Man's clinging on for dear life. So her resolve is, you know what? I need to be cold. Because also deep down, she might have a little bit of weak resolve where like, and possibly that thing that kept her with him. Like, I could do better. I should do better. This is the guy that's showing me all the love. So I think she definitely had conflicting on the way about which guy she should be with and changing her pattern. So she's trying, but she's like, no, if I don't cut this guy off coldly, he's going to still be there.
Okay, but can I ask you then? Because I agree with you to a certain extent. I just think she should have been nicer. But if Kwame turned around and started treating Chelsea like that, what would you say?
I think we
like if he did that too,
same thing.
Would you not think that's cold?
Same.
What do you mean? If he done what?
Because Chelsea is, like we said it, Chelsea is the marshal, isn't it? Like in that scenario.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah.
But then also, Kwame and Chelsea are a different dynamic. A little bit of a different dynamic, a little bit. It's not as simpering, and she hasn't, and Chelsea or Kwame hasn't got to the point of I can't stand. Kwame is still saying he loves Chelsea.
My bias against Kwame is because he wanted to call himself Alex. From that, I can't let him. You know what I mean? Like,
he's got a backstory. I know he's got a backstory.
Oh, bless him.
I don't think it's the same because their coupledom has been very different. Their similarities, really, the closeness that Chelsea and Kwame have had in both saying I love you, in the amount of sex that she has purported that they have had, it's all very different to Jackie and Marshall. Like she has literally been like, we don't even sleep together. Like there's just been discourse from as soon as they left Mexico. So because of that, but also the discourse, but him being there for her, that's why it was a bit like you'd think the person would just be like, you know what, it just didn't work out. Like just in a nice and Josh coming in and basically saying to Marshall, you know, I'm gonna take your girl, and taking his girl just makes it doubly like it's Sparkries, man. It's like you could have let him down easier. Like think of the dude's ego. Just give him a little pride, a little bit.
And he's debased himself, in her opinion, and to everybody watching, Marshall's slightly debased. And when someone debases themselves, girl or guy, there's that ick that is it's like hard to get back from. Even the nicest people who've got generally nice characters, when someone does that in a way, you're just like, I can't come back. And I stand by. She was like, if I'm nice or give him an inch, Marshall will be like, okay, let's give it a week. I'll call you in a week.
You could take both of us.
He's got that personality. Be like, let's try. Let's see how it goes with Josh, and I'll just be there waiting for you, baby.
Yeah.
So I get her. It's not nice, but I do get her cold resolve. I do. It's not nice though, but
he would 100% do that, and he would 100% be cooking pancakes and sending them through the letterbox every morning.
For her and Josh. So
no,
for her, like, hi Josh.
Yes.
Pancakes.
And he made pancakes like this, baby, through the letterbox.
Honestly,
I just think that Karma's a bitch, though, man. Like that's what she better recognize.
I mean, I just don't believe in that. But like, I do think that she did show her who she was. She did show him who she was from Mexico. Do you know what I mean? And he chose. Because he was just like, you know, it's a lot, but I'm gonna keep it. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like it wasn't like she was leaking. Her stuff was leaking. Yeah. You know, but, you know. So I just feel like if he's, hopefully he's learning from the situation. Hopefully he doesn't repeat these. You know, he can look at himself as well and look at what he can work on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he doesn't get in this situation again. You know, when he was, you know, talking to camera, he talked about, you know, her gaslighting, her deflecting, her deceitfulness, you know, and apparently that's the real Jackie. Do you know what I mean? That's really who she is, and that's not who he knew in the pods and stuff. And it was just like there was a little bit of like naivety as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like of course you're gonna see a different side to someone when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't hold them in glass in that moment. Do you know what I mean? Like you're gonna see more, you know, and and she has thoughts. She has, do you know what I mean, opinions on things.
Yeah.
On you and what she likes and what she doesn't like. So, you know, you can't, just because you're showing traits that are traditionally nice doesn't mean that everyone's going to be receptive to it. I do stand by that. And I just think, like, you know, when Jackie was just like, you know, sorry. The cold bit for me actually was the icing on the cake, was when she was outside, where she was trying to do whisper, and she was just like, so
Yeah.
I'm not even sorry.
That man, I can't walk down the aisle with that man. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not even sorry. You're on mute. You're on mute.
See
That
the piece to camera, that was where I was like, all right, girl, you've done it now.
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down.
That was
you didn't
cold.
need to do all of that.
Yeah.
The one thing that she said in that piece to camera that I wholeheartedly agree with, maybe I need work. I need to work on myself.
You should go.
Yeah, girl, you do.
She said she's crazy.
Yeah, I'm crazy. Yeah.
I also respect. She said, "I'm sorry." No, actually, I'm not, because she's not. And be honest,
She's not. She's
Because I don't even disagree with that. I don't, because the thing is, if you don't like someone, you don't like someone. It's just her delivery for me. I don't expect her to hang around and pretend. What for? That's more hurtful in the long term, innit? For both of them. She liked someone else, she liked someone else. And they've gone on the show to find love. And like you said, Charlotte, it's been 6 weeks. It's all been very sped up. You know, like Marshall's very naive in thinking that you meet in any dating, you meet someone's representative. It's just you didn't see the representative.
Yeah.
But you don't meet the real them. You get to know them, innit? But it was just her delivery for me. Just like, Ra, she really didn't like being called a project.
Her representative was shit. And you were still prepared to go through. Like, she really did give a lots of range to who she is as a human. She wasn't seamless for 6 weeks.
She wasn't.
Yeah.
He was still like, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna stick with this chick, because really and truly he liked her aesthetic.
Yes.
Yep.
She showed no tenderness to it. She was bawling and be like, leave. He won't leave. Like, literally, it's like she was not being nice to him.
Exactly.
All the time.
This is why, judging her on her coldness, that's why I'm a bit like, this girl from Jump has not really shown. It's like, it's different if Tiffany started switching on Brett in that way. Then we'd be like, what the?
Yeah.
That was shocking. There was no footprint of, maybe this is so weird for her to do it out of character. So that's why I'm a bit like, do you know what? It is what it is. She's doing what she's doing. Let her go and be with Josh. And let Marshall go find Jacqueline 2.0 or Agnes. I don't know.
I just hope he learns. I really do hope he learns.
He knows it needs
Because again, didn't he say repeatedly, like,
he ain't learning. This is the type of woman he likes. He's not learning.
The same thing from different girls. It's like, so are you actually really, really gonna learn if you're hearing the same things from girls that are similar?
Maybe this TV version is going to be like, he's really going to watch himself. It's the whole thing about mirror. You know what we were saying before, that you don't necessarily know you're doing something, but you don't really know till you actually see it in your face like that. Like, this is the mirror smushed to your face. This is who you are, bro. So maybe watching it back, you might be like, God damn. Like,
maybe. Let's hope so.
Antina, do you want to get some of the comments?
Okay. Faith says that she's disturbed and completely nuts, and she should have given the ring back too. And hello, Tough Cookie Tea. She says, hi, ladies.
Hey. Okay, so I thought that was, anyway, that part was so intense for me. I thought the show was over. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was I needed a breather at that point. I guess it's on Netflix, so you don't get breaks like that. Do you know what I mean? But I needed a breather. I needed to pause. And then we went into, oh God, Chelsea and Kwame's engagement photo shoot, but not just any photo shoot. This was a Chelsea Deluxe where she wanted a sexy photo shoot in matching underwear sets, 2 pairs of matching underwear sets as well. Bro, the thing is, you know when she done the bit to camera, and she's sitting side on the chair, and she's just like, I just had this weird fantasy. I was crying so much.
This is where
I swear to God. Go on.
This chick is feeling herself, and I think it's okay to love yourself, and you should. Yeah, there's something, and it shows in this episode quite a lot. this overly self-assured something about her, and it's all good for her, but for me watching it, it was a bit cringy for me. There's something that doesn't quite curl all the way over for me, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's icking me a bit. I don't know what it is.
It was cringy. I mean, some people are cringy. I think it's just fair. Like, she's entitled to her cringe. I thought it was the weirdest thing for an engagement shoot ever. Like, I thought that was just strange. Yeah. And again, it just felt like Kwame had been pulled along.
Yes.
And when he was speaking to the photographer, I had my head in my hands. I actually couldn't watch them properly. When he was like, I mean, we can start with our clothes on and then we'll just move around and then we'll take our clothes as we're getting warmer. I was literally like, this is icky. This is the worst. If I was a photographer, I'd want to put my camera down and be like, just tell me when you're ready and then I'll start shooting. It was so weird. And she's there like, yeah, I've always wanted to do this. It's just a fantasy of mine. I was like, this is all wrong. This is no, Chelsea.
There was one bit where it was like, I felt like she was dry humping him. It was just like, what's going on? And also, this is an engagement shoot. Where are these pictures going? Because normally with an engagement shoot, the pictures they go out in the press. You know, there's So, or where are these pictures going?
No,
who is seeing these pictures, Chelsea? It was so weird for me.
There's going to be an email or a photo album. Look at me and Kwame, a beautiful shoot. This is going to all her friends. Lucky if it's not the Christmas freaking picture, one of the more tasteful ones. It's going to be a Christmas card picture. And also, oh God, I had a thought about the...
Did you see the bit? Sorry, did you... Go on.
Well, this is not a shoot to do at your engagement. This is a shoot to do 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 year anniversary, not pre-wedding.
But even then, it should just be for you two, right? This type of shoot. Yeah. But there was a bit that was really uncomfortable for me. They were standing against the window, and the photographer was telling them to move, and it's like she was going in between his legs, or he was going in. It was so awkward between them. Cringe is not the word. You're not being nice by saying cringe, there's not a word in the dictionary to describe how that whole scene made me feel. It was just like, what in the name of sweet Jesus is going on here?
It was
here's my black man, right?
Yeah, like look at our bodies entwined, the contrast of the colors, and do you know what I mean? And then the brightness, and it's just going to be so artistic. And like when the photographer was just like, put your head into his chest. Sorry, like what is this? What is this symbol? I don't. Why is he on his knees? Like this is just off key. Like the whole thing was just like, I know you mean well, Chelsea, but this ain't it, babe. It just really isn't at all. Like no.
I can just say I know she loved the bum shot because her bum looks a little bit round. So I bet she's got booty. Someone has told her, "Oh, Chelsea, you got a big bum for a white girl," and she is forever cocking her bottom out. It's just hilarious.
You know who she gives me? Kylie Minogue. Remember when everyone was saying
that?
Yeah. It was just because she was stood at that angle.
Yes. And so much so because she's that little petite, like Kylie. Yes.
So just because there's a little roundness there and it's not concave, people say you got a big bum. And it's like you
concave.
Concave, it's not the wall. Flat back, I call it.
No. That whole shoot like Kwame needed, again, like you got to put your foot down at some point.
But he liked it. That was what was weird. Like he was saying, thank you so much for, like, I really feel like this is bonding us. It was just really odd. I felt like he would have acted more like he did when they were shopping. But he didn't seem to act like that.
I think she looks in his face and then sometimes there's like a hypnotism that's going on. Because he starts off like, I'm not for this. And then by the end of it, he's there. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. But that was ridiculousness. That literally ridiculous.
Too much.
I definitely, and her constant like saying, oh, he's the beautiful, perfect man. He's forever, it's going to be mine forever. Like, I just think like this is definitely, like, as she said, it's a dream come true for her. That she's living out this weird
get out fantasy.
Yeah, but he's fully participating. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, he is.
It's just like he kind of knows his role and he's happy to play it. And it's just like the whole thing is just cringe. They talked about Kwame's mum not coming to the show. He does a bit to camera, like coming to the wedding, and he was saying, he didn't date until college, and she had a lot of his parents, in fact, had a lot of input into his dating life. I'm just like, well, you're not 23, you're 32, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Like, a lot has happened since then. You're not a virgin. She knows that now because you said it on frigging camera. So what is the problem? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you was more than happy to sleep with Chelsea as soon as possible. Do you know what I mean? And now you're talking about you really care about what your mum thinks about your sexual activities. You don't give a shit. You done it on camera. You was kissing on camera. You don't care. You're doing a freaking
It's doing the most
shoot on camera. That's what you're doing.
In your white briefs. In your white briefs.
It was Calvin Klein as well, isn't it? So she's really,
it was Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein. She's been waiting to do that Marky Mark.
Seriously.
Yeah. With her black funky book guy.
She so then it gets to where, do you know what I mean? She's asking him, do you think you're ready? And then he's like, I love you a lot, not answering the question. Then she's like, will you say yes to me if it's right for you? She did put that in. Without your mum's approval. And it was just like it cut away. He didn't answer the question either. And then she's like, if it didn't go ahead, she said it would be the biggest letdown of the century. Bro, is that not loaded? Is that not, I know that's how you feel, but like, come on, man. Like,
she's putting so much pressure on this man to be everything. Like, I feel it's mad because I feel for him, but equally he's not being honest with his feelings. He's not. There is an element of she's definitely leading him down the garden path, but he's not being honest with his feelings. But anytime he tries to be, she kind of nips it in the bud. It's like you said earlier, Nana. She's like, no, shh. Here's a strawberry. Shh. Here I'm naked. Like,
Her saying the legacy that we've built in how many weeks? The
6
legacy
weeks.
that we've
and she keeps going on about their story. Like, started off.
You built nothing, bruv. You're just getting to know each other.
Yeah.
There's no foundation. Nothing. This is, come on.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah. They're not a match.
Helen
They're
said
not a match.
He was enacting some kind of fetish fantasy.
Yeah,
it was not nice to watch at all. Tough He says his African mum is rolling in disbelief. Yes, Helen, trust. And then Jetpack says legacy within 3 weeks. Laugh out loud.
Right.
And Dave says worst part is I think he'll say yes. I do as well.
There's something about his, because he did sound a bit genuine when he spoke about his feelings. I was a bit like, okay, because we haven't really seen enough of. There's been so much play in trying to get it like he likes Micah and all this type of shit. Now all that's gone out the window for now. It's like what does Kwame want? Who does he really love? What does he feel? So I think he's been honest, a bit more honest. I'm starting to see that, okay, you are saying these wonderful things about Chelsea. But I just don't think, similarly to maybe Marshall, whatever, that you're not speaking the full entire, or it's as we were just saying, actually, is what we're saying. He's not being allowed to express his emotions fully so that they can deal with everything properly because Chelsea is in super denial.
And I also think it's a case of, like, I should really want this woman because look at all these amazing things. Look how she looks at me. Look how she thinks of me. Like, I should be with this woman. There's an element of that too. And then everyone around him, Kwame's blinking. He's blinking 100 times for help. And no one is looking. No one's saving him. So then it's like, oh, well, maybe I should marry her. Oh, I'm the best thing to happen to her ever in the world.
Yeah.
I don't believe him. I just don't believe what he says. Like, I just don't believe that he likes Chelsea as much as he says. Every time he says, I love you too. Like, it's just like, oh, like it always catches you by surprise because his body language, how he kind of just conducts himself in those scenes is just not as a person who loves her. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I think it seems like he's tolerating her because he has to for the show. Like, that's what it seems like. And that's what I think, like, ultimately that's why I can't like him. Do you know what I mean? Because as annoying as Chelsea is, it's just like, if you were just honest, she would have a reality check about her feelings. Do you know what I mean? She's able to project all of this stuff because he's not saying anything different. He's agreeing with her. He's saying, I do love you. I do this. Do you know what I mean? So
I don't think his feelings are that well rounded enough to know that he doesn't love her. I actually think he does, but I think he's in love with the amount that she loves him.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like,
that's it.
Way more affirming to him. It's like, actually,
what do you mean? Because she loves him more. So,
yes, because she's so in love with him, that's what he loves. It's not necessarily that he is totally in love with her.
Yeah.
Then it's like, would I actually cut off somebody who is prepared to give me their whole world?
Yeah.
And I kind of like her. I may grow to love her. Give me a month or two. Should I grow? I think that's his dilemma.
Yeah.
More than he doesn't love her. Or like, she's so sure of me.
Can I just challenge that? Just because, I think if that question, could I cut off? Yes, you would have. Because if Micah had said yes, like an affirmative yes, Kwame, let's try a thing, he would have ran over there and left Chelsea in the dust.
Yes, but remember, he was saying, sorry. I'm
going to say that's
he was.
I'll go. Go on.
I was just going to say, like, he was saying to Micah, give me something. Remember, like, in the pods, when Chelsea had said all this stuff to him, and then he went and he had a date with Micah, and he was like to Micah, because you're not giving me nothing. And then Micah turned around and was like, oh, no, but it's all great. I love you. Like, not I love you, but you're, you know, our connection. And then he was like, oh, okay, cool. Then it's safe. So then he went off feeling happy with himself. I kind of understand what Nana means, because it's like he does need, or he wants to have that person that is so into him. So he's has some self-assurance, but he's not really into her at all. And that's what he's struggling with. I should be into this chick because look how she looks at me. I should be into her, but I'm just not there yet. But I should be, but I'm just not there yet.
Yeah. And it's that second choice thing. That was the second choice. Mark, sure, he would have gone with Micah, sure. But actually, this woman here is also presentable. She ticks boxes. She looks good on my arm, blah, blah. And then there's also the element of like, why did you apply for this show? Do you want to be famous? There's always that. But in this setting, it's like, I think is what we've been saying, that he's slightly confused and not sure. And what is he in love with? The adoration.
I don't know if he's confused. I just don't know. I'm not like, I think he knows exactly what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? I think he's doing enough to keep her sweet and just laughing every time he gets a difficult question. That's just like, you know, do you still want to do this? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Was it the 15 minutes of fame? And that's super annoying and for any of them to do that.
Yeah.
But, I feel like what we're seeing with him, more women go through than men. That's why I actually find their dynamic quite interesting, because I think a lot of women get that.
Yeah.
It's so sure. And then you're just, they like me. I guess it's even just being asked out on a date, just being cool. Like sometimes you're actually not, you weren't even looking at that dude, but they were there. So that's where he's at. Most of people will go along with that. It's like, this person loves me so much. Who am I, if you don't know yourself, to question that? Maybe they are the person. And I feel like he's on that train. He is like, this is a good woman. She ticks loads of boxes. Micah could tick more, but she's on me to the point where she thinks my shit singing is good.
Yeah.
Like,
and no one around him is telling him any different.
He ain't talented for shit. but she thinks he is. She literally said he is the most talented person I've ever met. Like,
and she worships the ground he walks on.
That's very alluring for any human. That is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I could go along with that.
Okay, well, Tiff and Brett just unproblematic couple, really and truly. You know, their big story is that she's stressed. There's a lot to do, and you know, she just gets overwhelmed. They friggin' done her date with that camera angle showing the boogers in her nose.
Right?
Fucking out of order.
I thought that too.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And Brett's, just holding her, calming her down, and it's just like, oh, lovely. Really nice. One thing that does irritate me though, I will say, and it's just like in all of their houses, is these freaking gold cups.
It's because they're sponsored by someone.
Oh,
go on.
Continuity.
What were you going to say?
I was reading about continuity, that it's easier when they're these closed goblets and not clear glasses, because for continuity and things like that, it's easier.
It is because of that, but they're sponsored by people.
Yeah.
So it's that too.
Yeah, man, they're in every scene. But if you notice, wherever they go, even when they're not in their own houses, they've got those cups because it's product placement. Because it's product placement. Yeah, that's what it is.
And also the fact that they're bloody fucking closed, whatever they're called, not glass.
It's that, but it's product placement too.
It wasn't so much that. It's just like I hate that style. I hate that they're everywhere. I freaking hate them so much. And I'm just like, they're freaking everywhere. Like you have this beautiful scene of, bar the bogies. Like, do you know what I mean? With this black couple, and you've got those bloody gold glasses that we've just seen. Like, do you know what I mean?
They're everywhere. Go to the dad's house, they're there. Go to the mum's house, they're there. By the beach, they're there. Yeah. The props master and the set designer are earning their money.
They really are.
Let's bring out the cups.
So we have Micah and Paul. I don't think there's much to say here, but they make their own rings. It was cute. But they weren't really saying much, to be honest. It's like, not to me, they weren't really saying much. Then we go back to Kwame. The gold cups are there as well. So he calls his mum. Do you know what I mean? Goes to voicemail. Surprise, surprise.
Because he called himself. He called his flat. He called his messy house.
A phone ringing. At least we got that detail. We got a phone ringing.
Yeah, because the producer said to him. The producer was like, "Bruv, you got to call something. You got to call someone." So he called himself.
Yeah.
And then he calls his brother, and his brother kind of just reiterates, it's like, all well and good you want to speak to mum, but she can't make this decision for you. Do you know what I mean? And it does just highlights again, like, quite you just using scapegoats to me. Like, I just don't buy it. Like, I really don't. I'm not saying that Chelsea is fault free at all. Do you know what I mean? I think she's got issues, and I really think there is something in that whole, like, you're like a white male in this situation, and I see that. Do you know what I mean? But like Kwame himself as well, it doesn't make you like a victim. Nah. You know what you're doing. And he's ultimately got to do right by himself, and he's looking for people to make that decision for him. He doesn't want to make it himself. That's what I got from that. Then we jump back to Tiff and Breffany. Oh, they are Breffany.
They are Breffany.
Yeah, Breffany. They have a little sea-plane trip, and then he surprises her with the most gorgeous engagement pictures, the way they're supposed to be done, of the woman with the frigging engagement ring front and center. Is that not how you're supposed to do it? I just swear to God. Oh my God.
That is literally the engagement shoot. Is showing off your ring and taking cute pictures where you're kissing. That is an engagement shoot.
Exactly.
Not naked or in cabin.
Writhing on the bed.
Yeah, exactly. Doing black and white. You don't see color.
Yeah, that was so you could see her advert going on in it. We don't see color. We blend. Yeah. It's just
our hearts are the same color.
We all bleed, don't we?
Honestly. So yeah, I think that was just the sweetest thing ever. It was like, big old dollop of American cheese, like love, and do you know what I mean? What you see in the movies when they do those types of things as well. It was very, very nice. And it's just, he took a deep breath and said, like, I'm in love with Tiffany. He said it out loud to camera. It was really, it was very, very cute, I thought. And then we went into like almost the opposite space of love and do you know what I mean, cuteness, to a very tense atmosphere when Bliss and Zach met. Zach met Bliss's dad and stepmom, which I was not ready for at all. at all.
I thought we had the drama already. I was not ready.
I was not on
It was
at all.
It was just shocking. So what the first clue was, actually was the younger sister, because the younger sister in the sunglasses. I was like, what's going on here? Why are you trying to hide? And then it slowly was revealing why she was hiding her face, mate. Because she knew in this moment, this could go in one or two ways. Smoothly, or I'm going to get friggin' embarrassed because my dad is mad. Like,
Dad's about to go in.
So the dad from the jump, like this is the thing about like this. What came to mind to me was when you have different cultures meeting, you need to prep the person who's not from your culture. You need to prep them fully and make them understand what your significant person, what they like, what they don't like, what they want to hear. It's not always every day just show up, be yourself. No, not always. Especially if your parent or your guardian is a particular type of person. You want this to work, do you not? So anyway, like from the jump, the dad was just like, what do? Do you know? I think they bonded on the area that they're from. Okay, 1 point ping. Yes,
that was it.
Right way. It was just downhill from there. Do you like golf? No. Do you fish? No. Do you don't like sports at all? No. Okay, you're a lawyer. Yeah, for 6 years. Okay, cool. Then Zach just decides to go into this big speech about litigation, what he specializes in. The dad's eyes were just glazing over. Then he had the cheek even to say, I don't have much opinion about that anyway. Like,
when he said that I was dead, I was like, oh my God, I was done when he said that.
He was wounded. He was wounded. And then this goes back to a point. Also, then Zach starts talking about what he likes about Bliss. And this was when I was just like, Zach. Now, what you're doing here is what you do at work when you're talking to a jury and you memorize a script and you literally just said word for word what you said to the mum. I didn't like that. I can't lie.
But you know what I noticed? Do you know what I noticed? He read the room that day, though. He knew not to say, oh, actually, at first I was engaged to Irina. He knew. Now is not the time.
He knew. But
his dad would have massacred him. Like her dad absolutely would have gone crazy. But I just want to go back a little bit to missteps that Zach did when he was talking and not noticing when the stepmother got up and left.
Yes.
Stop then. That was like the first step of what are you doing? Yeah. Then when he was and as he kept on going with the dad and the dad is looking every which way but at him and he still kept on talking, I was like, if I was Bliss sitting there, I'd be like, those are key signs that this dude doesn't read any, like he has like empathy. He can't read empathy properly. Like they are looking bored and he's not stopping. I'd be like, that's a huge red flag. Because how many times is he going to do that with me in his life when I'm feeling pain and he's not going to read it? He's literally going to go off on a tangent.
Right? No, definitely. But just to pause you there, we just got a super chat. We did get a super chat. Thank you so much, Mad Gimme. Mad Gimme, is that you saying?
Mad Gimme.
Mad Gimme. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, guys. We really
Thank you.
Do this for you. Thank you. So yes, no, I totally like he didn't have any sort of radar. He wasn't picking up clues or anything like that at all. He's just not really deeply self-aware, I think. Do you know what I mean? That might be for
I don't know how he wins cases because you're just not picking up. Like if the dad was a jury member, can you not read like or the judge or it's just the body language from the very beginning from the dad was just like so closed off to what is happening here. I don't want to be here. I'm not interested in what this guy's got to say. No. Yeah. Just no.
Maybe he's just all about the facts and very clinical. One of those clinical lawyers just like, this is what it is. You can't argue with my facts and stats. And he makes it hard to argue the facts and stats, but he's not the one that's going to do human emotion and stuff.
No, definitely not.
I just thought like, maybe I think that I think what he said the first time to the mum was definitely like, it was a good story. It was compelling.
Yeah.
I believed him.
Yeah.
Like, I really did. But I think he might be like a bit of a one-trick pony. And the dad goes on to say that just because you're a lawyer doesn't mean you're good. Like, you might have a bit of intelligence about you, but doesn't mean that you're actually good, you know? So maybe
the dad was cold.
No,
Yeah.
Oi, the thing is,
No, but when I say, I'm not saying not honest, but like, you know, like just like in his just cold. Yeah.
I just loved the way that he was just being real, like so real about it. He started talking about the older sister. He started talking about intelligence, how that comes into play with decision making. Do you know what I mean? Bliss is there trying to argue with her dad. Do you know what I mean? And the dad is just like firmly placed in reality. He's
and calm.
Like, yeah, you guys have known each other for what, 20 days? Like, you need intelligence to make a decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
and then
argue with that.
There was something else he said, you're just getting married to get married. I swear we said that.
Yeah. And then she was just she said, yeah, I'm not getting married to get married for get married's sake.
And he was like, you are. Nice. Yeah, exactly.
And like, how can you argue with that? Like, the thing is, from why she should have managed it, because also Zach is looking at you. If your dad is saying that, agreeing with that state, like, do you know what I mean? Your actual dad, whoa. Do you know what I mean? That's a lot. That's not something that a man like Zach will ignore. Do you know what I mean? Because he didn't like her tone when she was talking about Irina, and then it made him choose Irina. So you think this is massive compared to that.
The side of her that was combative and stubborn and bullheaded, and he definitely
But you could see why, like you know, the dad's very a dominant figure, isn't he? Like you could see why, like controlling, like you are my child. This is what I think. And don't get me wrong, he said things that we have all definitely seen. You know, if that was my people and they brought Zach round, I'd probably say the same sort of thing as the dad did. Maybe not in the tone that he said it, but she, like you said, Charlotte, she didn't give Zach a heads up at all. There should have been, like the conversation that Chelsea had with Kwame about her dad. That is the conversation that Bliss needed to have with Zach.
She did. She did. I agree. I absolutely agree. And it's just like, you can see how everybody else was quiet, that this is normal. Do you know what I mean? This back and forth, this, really combative, like conversations, this is normal. So I think that's unfair when you let someone just enter into those kind of scenarios with no warning. Like
no tools.
Yeah.
Why was the stepmother crying?
I saw that. She was crying. She was. I think
emotional.
She was. I think it was because of the argument between Bliss and the dad. Like it was, it was heated, isn't it? But she was crying. She was there with her thing, crying. I saw that too.
But it's like they didn't give it any build up. They were having back and forth, and then they cut to the woman crying. I was like, why are you showing us this? Unless we're going to see it escalated, why are you even showing us like this?
Because maybe like these two, they're always.
It's like the dad's mate. Like you're making a mistake. Like, why are you doing this to us? Because the dad was just like, you'll see, and just like your sister, and you'll see. The dad was not having it at all.
As well, I was also like, the dad has a type.
Yeah.
Yes.
They look like sisters.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe they are.
The same woman.
Maybe they're cousins. Because
that's definitely an arrogant arsehole, 100%.
Yeah.
And Bliss has possibly picked up Daddy's ways as well.
Maybe. And maybe that's also why she's gone for Zach. Because he's the complete opposite of her dad.
Yeah.
I don't think Zach is.
You don't think he's the complete opposite of her dad?
No, I actually think Zach has more traits like her dad.
I don't know. I can't see him being so combative. I can't see that from him.
Controlling nature. The way he's like, don't talk about Irina.
But I think she wants to get down the aisle. I think she's holding back. Aisle. And also as well, she is blatantly smarter than him. Like she like, and the dad knows it as well.
Yes.
Like, and it was just like, I think that's what that's what I got anyway. The dad was just like, this guy, like he's not ready for my daughter.
Yeah, and he said that. He said that. He actually said that. And I think it's like you the point you made as well about just because you're a lawyer, him saying that doesn't make you smart. Yeah. That's him telling him, you're not ready for my child. No, you're not.
How, on aesthetics alone, your child, is beautiful. Quite of her little isms, she's beautiful. And she brings this guy into the house. Zach's not straightforward looking. So it's going to be like, what the hell is going on here?
But it also doesn't make any sense for a smart person to go through this experiment and in 3 weeks be like, I am going to marry this person for life. I just met them. You literally would be like, come on, chick.
And it is like the dad's like, come on, another one of your crazy experiments, Charles. It's very giving, very much. When you dropped out of college for half an hour, now you're back. You know what I mean? All these.
And and I also got from it, like, he is someone that wants to control her, and she pushes back at him all the time. So it's like, I'm going to rebel against whatever it is that you say, Dad, and I'm going to tell you that I'm rebelling, and I don't care. Because even when she was talking about the dad and her mum getting a divorce and how it affected her, it was like, do you think I'm going to do that? I'm not going to do that. That's the last thing that I want to do. So I'm going to go and marry this man that I've just met in 20 days. And then the dad was like so calm. The dad was like, that's exactly where you're going. You're headed down that road.
It's like, you're such a child. That was probably the most childish thing she had said in the whole process. It's so, and you're trying to throw your toys at the pram at this man who's done it all and is like, you will get divorced before you even have kids. It's gonna be like, literally like, stupid girl.
And now Zach has got a big out. He's got a massive out. Do you know what I mean? And it would be understandable.
Honestly.
Yeah, and you know that he's always talked about families and how important it is for him and how he's nervous about families. That's him saying, well, boy, your family's not accepting me.
You don't want this function.
But it's true though. What does Zach do for Bliss?
Nothing. Come on.
I'm not seeing it.
Do you know what I mean?
Nothing. There's no warmth, really. Yeah. It's robotic kisses. It's all the written scripts, as you said, the rehearsed scripts. There's no real friction between them. Nothing.
Doesn't look like it, does it?
I think he's he's attracted to her. I don't think he loves her. I think attracted to her mind, definitely. I think he is attracted to that. But is this your wife? I'm not getting those vibes. And how far she is to be like, oh, I don't know, oh, I know, oh, I don't know type of thing as well. I'm like, you're immature. You're not actually ready to get married to this dude either.
Yeah. I think they both just want to tick boxes.
Yeah. They actually shouldn't get married. They should just just date.
I think, they should just date, see where it goes. Because at the moment, I just feel like both of them are in it for the wrong reasons. So, like they've written a list. At this age, I want to be married and have children by that age, and they're just trying to tick those boxes. And really and truly, they're not, that convinced about each other.
If he hasn't
Bliss is giving me by any means necessary type feels at the moment.
No, she is. And I think like her dad confirming it is just like, as much as, sometimes the parents, they can be wrong, do you know what I mean? And stuff. But there was just too much. She was so triggered. Like, it's just like,
if she walked in with like
peeking out.
If she walked in with like a rugged, but even if it was like a construction worker, something that was like that the guy dad would be like, yeah, I can see myself going for a beer with this guy, chilling with this guy, watching the game with this guy. That's the guy that her dad probably envisions for her. And that type of guy. I can just see that. Or someone, he's probably looking at a guy that he can relate to, not even thinking about his daughter. Like someone that he can relate to, because then he knows that person potentially will look after his daughter in the way that he thinks his daughter should be looked after. Not this dweeb, in his opinion. He can't go golfing, can't go sporting, can't watch games, can't drink beer, can't do nothing with this dweeb.
Nothing.
Oh, gosh. Do you want to get some comments?
So Missy J says, I think Bliss's dad didn't handle his point with care, and it seemed he was arguing to be right rather than having understanding.
Yeah.
Definitely. Tough Cookie T says, it seems like no one is good enough, and I wonder what type of a man her dad wants her to be with. Like Paul and Micah. Don't know what
that references to.
I think he wants the New York guy. I can just see the guy that her dad wants him to be with. And
yeah, I can imagine that, like a man, a man.
Yeah, his version of a stereotypical man.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
And Zach's not that.
He can be intelligent and stuff, but it's just someone that he's looking at the guy that he can chill with as well.
Yes,
it's a guy for him and the daughter.
I think that he probably wants someone who's obviously successful as well. I don't think like Zach is obviously, he might be, but he's not obviously successful.
He's like an ambulance chase lawyer at the moment. A little bit. Not like I'm attorney at law. He's more like rumpled suit, running in and out of all the local courts, and just trying to get a case.
Yeah. He's giving me Better Call Saul rather than Suits.
Yeah.
Them ones. Oh my God.
That was how her dad responded to him. Like, when he was like, so 6 years, like, you guys have checked him out, yeah? Like,
I know. Can you imagine when he said that to the camera? He was like, well, hopefully you've checked him out, because anyone can say they're a lawyer. It's like, even he's not sure. He's still not sure.
All the verses.
I mean, he ain't wrong. It's true.
He's not.
Facts.
He's not. It's starting up your own firm. It's not easy. It's not easy, man. Being an entrepreneur, it's not easy, as we all know. Do you know what I mean? So,
cubbyhole offices, papers everywhere.
And what does that mean to be starting your own practice? Does that mean that you're unemployable? Like, there's loads. I would be asking lots of questions. Why are you doing this? Why do you feel 6 years in, you're not going to be partner somewhere? You are going to start up all by yourself. Like, I think her dad, he's well within his rights. He was harsh, but he's well within his rights to be asking these questions. Compared to how loving her mum was, her mum may be like, I've got 3 daughters and they all need to be married.
The mum was like, I want to get grandbabies. That's what the mum said. Like, that was, that's where her head's at. She wants them grandbabies by hook or by crook. And she's probably of the thought of, if you get a divorce, you get a divorce. I might get a baby out of it.
Yeah.
Where the dad's like, nah, I'm not covering this. The carnage that's going to unfold, not on my watch.
It's true. When they were leaving, the dad was probably like, I'm not paying for your wedding, yeah?
No, also, I'm not paying for your divorce.
He's going to be down the pub with the guys and like, fellas.
Daddy, I'm 32. I can pay for myself.
We probably could, actually.
Yeah.
With my trust fund that you're going to give me. He seems like he gives her money. I get that she gets money from her dad.
Yeah, we wouldn't be surprised. No, which is I mean, that's fine.
It's fine. It's fine, but I get that from him. Like, I still give you money.
Yeah.
Yes, Helen just said there was a mention about Bliss' older sister about marrying the wrong man.
Yeah. He said it.
That used to work for the dad, and his dad had to sack him.
Yeah.
All of that. He's like,
that sounded messy. Like, her dad
sounded so messy.
So messy.
Messy boots. The dad was.
He was messy the minute they said hello to him. Yeah. The mess was everywhere.
He was on it. He was like, I'm gonna blow this shit up straight up. I'm not dealing with this.
And like you said, that's why the younger sister kept her glasses on. She was like, if I've got a BA, you ain't seen my full face.
Yeah. Tomorrow. School when this drops. Yeah. It's gonna be too much for the poor girl, man. But yeah, that was the episode.
Okay.
That's it. It was a bit spicy, man, for me. Lots going on.
I think this definitely was my fave so far.
I was going to say, and I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely, like most intent. Like that's the thing. Like I said, like with what's her name? What's the girl's name now? Jackie. That took me by surprise. I needed like there was no way. And then to finish off with Bliss's dad, I was just like, what is going on? What's going on? It was a very intense episode.
It was epic. That episode had me. It did. Yeah. It had me up, mate. My mouth was open.
Love Island can learn a few things, you know.
Yes. We need epic roller coasters like this.
Yeah. Seriously.
No, 3 or 4 shits going on in 1 hour. That's what we're after.
Mate.
Okay. Any last questions that you want us to answer? Or?
No. My question today was about the wedding dresses. I will have more questions tomorrow. And maybe we can address some of the rumors going around on the internet about some of our...
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow.
Okay, guys, thank you ever so much for joining us. Everybody that's in here now, please press the like button because it means a lot. And then this video will go out to loads more people. So press like now. If you are not subscribed to the channel, why? But please do subscribe.
For why?
Subscribe. We are on the road to 2K and we are trying to get there by the end of this month. And we're doing quite well. Like, actually, it's like going up in the hundreds every couple of days. So please, again, share this with people who you know would love our channel. We have lots on there. And we're going to be making lots more content as well. With the help of people doing super chats and thank yous and sending us money along the way, we can make more quality content as well. So that means a lot. We will be back tomorrow, 9-ish. You will see the link go up at about like 10 to 9. Just join us, get some snacks, get a drink, and we will be on live again talking about episode 11 and all of the TikTok, because that's where we get our news from. Conspiracy theories. We will discuss them tomorrow as well. So we'll see you then. Have a lovely night and thank you for joining us for this hour and 40 minutes as well.
Wow.
Yes.
That's how deep the episode was.
Didn't even realize. Wow. Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye. Bye.